Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty, always guests on Keel, heard via that Jack Spring Electric Keel Newsmaker hotline.
We're joined this morning by Mel King, who is the father of Heather Jose, who was killed after leaving Mall St. Vincent along with her husband Kelly, trying to do a good deed. Mel, I can't even do justice to the story, but you and your family, and you're the spokesman for the family, you're not happy about how this case has been handled by our local district attorney's office. Explain your frustration.
Thank you for having me on your radio show and bringing this to light. Our concern with the DA is, 2 years ago, he said, I'm going for the death penalty. We have the evidence. It's been 2 years, a little over. And now he says we're reducing it to life without parole. I asked, has the evidence changed? No. Okay. We know that when you do a death penalty case in Louisiana, in most states, it takes about 3 to 5 years for it to even get to court. But he's already flinched. He's gone from the death penalty to life. And we look at how Mr. Stewart, his record, if I was a defense attorney and I was going against him, I would make motion after motion to delay because he'll flinch. He'll give in. He's done that in the past with this defendant. He's flinched now. He cannot flinch anymore. He has to hold this line.
Mr. Mel, pardon me, what sort of contact have you had, if any at all, with the DA, or what may be disappointing to you, the somebody else at the district attorney's office?
We were contacted last week, about that time last week, that they had made a decision by Mr. Edwards, special prosecution attorney.
Excuse me, sir. Who at the office contacted you?
They have a victim's contact lady whose name just went right out of my mind, who contacted us, but it was Mr. Edwards who we talked to, and in a conference call with my daughter, Sarah, and I. And it was he who says, this is what Mr. Stewart has decided. This is what we're going to do.
What was the reason given? What was the reason given for the change?
They had a couple. One of them was COVID. How do we do a capital case with COVID? And the sequestering, which they always do anyway. So that's not it. The testing. And so they were using COVID as an excuse. The problem is 3 or 4 weeks before they made this decision, they had already told us the trial wasn't going to happen this year because the defense has made certain motions, and that takes time. And it's 3 to 5 years before they ever get into court with a death penalty case. So this is a little over 2 years, and he's already flinched. I asked if it was money. They said, no, it's not the evidence. It's not the money. I think they just want it off their books. And I don't work that way. Justice doesn't work that way.
Do you feel like you were consulted or given any kind of input at the table, or were you just told, here's how it's going to be?
We were told, this is how it's going to be. We were told, this is your consult. We're doing this.
And you have no recourse in Louisiana, correct?
We're reaching out to victim advocates groups, trying to get someone to say, hey, this is wrong. But right now, that's why we went through the social media. That's why we sent this letter out to everyone from the governor down. And the response has been tremendous. And but we have to get out front of this, stay out in front of it, and hold the line for Heather and Kelly's justice.
Mr. Mel, are you disappointed that the DA himself did not get in touch with you to tell you about the change in plan?
Yes, I am. Him and I had a good conversation when this first happened. We went to their office, sat down with them, and I made it very clear I want justice for my daughter, and he made it very clear he did too. They asked us to stay out of the media. We have done that. We have not gone to the media. I asked him to do his job, to get justice. He decided to do the death penalty. We agreed with it, but now he's flinched.
He is joining us in about 20 minutes. What is your number one question of D.A. Stewart today?
My number one question: will you hold the line? Will you not back down again? I don't see it in his record.
It would be.
He has to stand.
Would it be unfair of me to say that you feel blindsided by this change?
Well, my daughter received the phone call from them while she was at a shopping center, and we had to ask for a conference call, and I was totally shocked when I got it. I said, "You're kidding," and the conference call was very clear. This is what we're doing. So yeah, I feel like we definitely were consulted. I mean, look it up in the dictionary.
Yeah,
words got a lot different meaning than this is what we're doing.
Mel, part of your other concern is the rap sheet of Mr. Watkins and how he's been in and out of the system over and over and over again. Are we dropping the ball in Louisiana in cases like this? Where should he should not have been in Mall St. Vincent on that November day, correct?
Correct. He should have been in jail. He was sentenced to 15 years conduct with children, and but he was let out. There seems to be a revolving criminal justice system in Louisiana. You commit a crime, you go in, you get out early. You commit a crime, you go in, you get out early. And then this happened with this defendant over and over again. And it was Mr. Stewart who lowered the charges the time before. And he did it then, and we're afraid he's going to do it again.
What would Heather say today to the district attorney?
She would be pounding on his door. I wouldn't have to say a word. If this was one of my other daughters, Heather would be screaming for justice.
I know this is hard for you to do. Our prayers with you and the family. How soon do you think you'll get it to trial now? Will this help at least get it quicker?
Well, they say they can go to trial in the fall. But once again, if I'm a defense attorney, I delay and get it reduced to life with parole. And he gets out before the next 20 years or less.
If the district attorney were to try to reach a different plea agreement rather than take this to trial, would you hope it's handled differently, that you're consulted in advance?
My victim's right says I'm supposed to be. But he's violated that once, in our opinion. I sincerely hope he never does that and reduces it less. I mean, we can't have that. The people of Louisiana deserve better than that. They deserve to be able to go to the mall, not be stalked, and then do a random act of kindness for one and end up in a burning car.
Mel King.
Deserve better.
Thank you so much for your time today. Our prayers with you and the family.
Thank you.